a big hope, a big love, with the people of the past and future and all our friends along the way.
Welcome to our last week of Compassion Camp. It is hard to believe that we are finally here, but I have learned so much and enjoyed having fun with you all this summer as we thought about showing the world loving kindness. We thought about how we can show loving kindness and compassion to ourselves, how we can show it to friends and family and other neighbors, and even how we show loving kindness to those around the world. As we get ready for our last time of story, let's make sure we are first powered up and ready to go. And since this is our last time, let's give it 100%. Are you ready? Let's do it. Loving kindness. Loving kindness. Hopefully you feel energized for our last story. This week, we are going to think about what it means to show loving kindness along the way. We have learned that showing compassion is a practice that we have to practice. And it's also something that we practice together as a community. We need each other sometimes to keep going, particularly in the hard times. We build our community from the people who have come before us, and also the people that are present and the people who are yet to come. We support and encourage one another through every step of the journey. One way that people used to particularly show encouragement to one another was through letters. Before we had phones or texting or computers, letters were our biggest form of communication. And there are actually quite a few letters in our Bible. And one man named Paul wrote quite a few letters during the early church time to encourage other churches to keep going, to keep practicing loving kindness and showing God's love. So we today are going to read a part of one of Paul's letters, encouraging others. So let us hear our story together. After the birth of the church on that windy, noisy day in Jerusalem, people in other places also gathered to cook, eat, learn, pray, sing, and remember Jesus together. Paul, who saw a vision of Jesus resurrected, helped some of these gathered communities get started. He taught people what he knew about Jesus and encouraged them when things weren't going well. When he couldn't be with them, he wrote letters to share his teaching and encouragement. Today we're hearing the end of this letter he wrote to the church in Rome, in which he remembers his friends there. Let me tell you about Phoebe. She's a leader in the church at Chenereg, and she's helped me and so many others along our way. Welcome her generously, and if she needs anything, see that she gets it. And then Prisca and Aquila. Big hugs to them. They've worked with me and once risked their own lives for mine. Say hi to everyone from their house church too. Those greetings and that gratitude aren't just from me, but also from all the non-Jewish churches. Say hi to my friend Arpitaneus, the first one in Asia to follow Jesus, and to Mary, who's worked so hard for you. Say hello to Andronicus and Junia, my family. They were connected to Christ before I was, and in jail alongside me. Say hello to Amplitus, my good, faithful friend, and to Urbanus, who works alongside us, and my friend Stachys. Hello also to Apelles, who's been so committed to Christ, and to Aristobulus and his family, to Narcissus and his faithful family, and Herodian. He's family to me. Hello, Tryphenia. Hello, Tryphosa. Both of you working so hard for Christ. And Persis too. Hello, Persis. Say hello to Rufus, who has a special place in my heart. And to his mother, who has been like a mother to me also. Hello, hello, hello to Arsacateus, to Philogona, to Hermes, to Petrobus, and to Hermas. And hello to our friends with them. Say hello to Philologus, Julia, Narcissus, and his sister, and Olympus, and to everyone striving to be faithful alongside them. Throw your arms around each other. Big hugs. Christ Church from all over says, hello! I don't know about you, but listening to that letter from Paul, I realized he had a lot of people encouraging him and a lot of people he was thankful for along the way. As we think more about encouraging each other along the way, it's time for our last coloring sheet to imagine and wonder together. So pull out your session 5 picture and let's get wondering. As you look at this picture, what does Paul seem to be remembering as he writes his letter? Paul hints at adventures he's had in his letter. About which of Paul's adventures do you want to know more? Why do you think Paul's eyes are closed in this illustration? Do you know people who live far away from where you live? What keeps you connected to them? Is it letters? Do any of you do that? Or the phone? Or maybe sending pictures? How do you best like to connect with other people? If you were part of the community that received Paul's letter, how would you feel when hearing that letter read aloud? Would you be happy? Encouraged? If you didn't already know the people Paul was instructing you to greet, which of them would you be eager to meet? Why? Was there a name that stuck out to you? Maybe there were some that were easier to pronounce, others that were harder. What in the list of memories Paul shares sounds like acts of compassion? Sounds like the people who were with him in jail showed him a lot of compassion. He even mentioned that someone felt like a mother to him. If you were making a list of the people who have been compassionate and faithful to you, whom would you include? Maybe take time to tell a story about one of them. Would you include your parents, a brother and sister, a friend? Can you name 5 people that have shown compassion and walked alongside with you? As we finish up our story time together, let's take a moment to pray. Good and gracious God, many people have gone before us, loving each other and making a difference. We do not have to do this alone. Join us together to work as a team so we can share the work and never grow tired. Amen. Thank you for joining me today for story time, and look for 2 more activities to finish off our time at Compassion Camp. So long for now as you continue to journey in loving kindness along the road.